Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
Elaine Thompson Hero won season's best 10.79. Olympic double spring champion Elaine Thompson Hero dismissed any suggestions about her fitness with a sublime season's best of 10.79 seconds to win the women's 100 meters at Saturday Classic Diamond League meet in Eugene, Oregon in the United States. After a somewhat sluggish start, Thompson Hero blew away the strong field with a powerful second half to beat her previous season best, 10.89 seconds set 2 weeks ago. American Sha'Carri Richardson was second in a season's best of 10.92 seconds, just ahead of Olympic bronze medalist Shericka Jackson, who was also timed at 10.92 seconds. Fraser Price wins 200 meter. Jamaica's Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce won a season's best of 22.41 seconds to win the women's 200 meter at the Classic Diamond League meeting in Eugene, Oregon, United States on Saturday. The 2013 world champion produced a commanding performance, coming off the bench first, and was never threatened as she ran away to win by a comfortable margin. American Britannia Brown was second with 22.74 seconds, and Jamaica-based Bahamian Stratton was third with 22.76 seconds. Marcia Griffiths, Leroy Sibbles to headline Westchester Reggae Festival. For over 50 years, Westchester County has been home to a strong community of Jamaicans whose unapologetic display of their culture is part of the region's diversity. The Westchester Reggae Festival on May 29 celebrates that enduring presence. Dubbed Legends in Concert, its third staging is scheduled for the Capitol Theatre in Port Chester. The show features Marcia Griffiths, Leroy Sibbles, and Johnny Osborne. Angie Belens, CEO and founder of the event, says fans are expected from Westchester County as well as New Jersey and Connecticut. They will see 3 acts whose careers started during the 1960s or recorded hit songs from the legendary Studio One label. As we celebrate Jamaica's 68th year of independence, we celebrate these legends who are pioneers of the reggae music business, Belens noted. The Capitol Theatre has a 1,500-seat capacity, which Belens in confidence will be filled mainly by a mature community from areas such as the Bronx, White Plains, Mount Vernon, Yonkers, and New Rochelle. We are not only trying to target the mature community, we would like to present entertainment packages that attract the entire family, she said. Beverly Kelso, a founding member of the Wailing Wailers along Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and Bunny Wailer, will be honored by the promoters. She is a longtime resident of Brooklyn. Westchester County and adjoining boroughs of the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens have been home to massive Jamaican settlements for over 50 years. Some of those early settlers include singer Denroy Margon and record store owner Earl Moody, who helped put reggae on the map in New York City. Man believed of unsound mine hit by train in St. Catherine. A man who is believed to be of an unsound mind is being treated at the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine after he was hit by a train in the parish yesterday. The train is operated by the Jamaica Railway Corporation. The incident took place at about 4:30 p.m. on a section of the track between McCook's Pen and Amity Hall. Residents say the man was lying on the track. At least one of his legs had reportedly been injured. I'm regular practice go lie down on the train line. Yesterday me hear when the train a blow and then it stop and we hear say train hit him, said one resident who did not want to be named, adding that the man lives in abandoned houses in the area. No, we don't know where him come from. All we know say him set fire to a lot of properties. Him even set fire to one of them over there, so the resident said, pointing to a burnt-out plot of land that was recently lit. Accused by thief, killed by mob in Westmoreland. A man was killed by an angry mob in White Honey Grill in Westmoreland on Friday night after he was accused of stealing a motorcycle. The deceased has been identified as 32-year-old Onilita T. Tomlinson of a Frome address. An eyewitness who did not wish to be identified told reporters that he saw the man running through the bushes into a yard. Me only see when him drop and he start beating with rock, stone, and board, he recalled. 3 night pass straight him a thief bike, but last night them kill him, he said. You think it easy for a man save and buy a bike for all $180,000 and a man thief it? Them two wicked man, he added. According to the Police Corporate Communications Unit CC report, Tomlinson died as a result of injuries he sustained in Whitehall. It is theorized that he was mobbed by residents after attempting to steal a motorcycle. He died at hospital at about 9:15 p.m., the CCU confirmed. The Nigel police are investigating. Lawyer wants brother of reputed Klansman gang leader freed. Attorneys for Kevon Green, the brother of alleged leader of the St. Catherine-based Klansman gang Andre Blackman Bryan, on Thursday argued viciously that Green, who is allegedly second in command in the gang, should have been among the 4 men freed that day, as the prosecution had failed to produce any evidence against him other than that he is the brother of Bryan. Green, who is charged with being a member of a criminal organization, illegal possession of a firearm, and 2 counts of facilitating the commission of a criminal offense, was among the original 31 being tried for several offenses under the anti-gang and firearm legislation. On Thursday, ahead of no case submission from the defense team, the number of accused slid to 29 after the Crown admitted that it had no evidence to pursue its case against Damien Ellison, Roshane Williams, Rivaldo Hilton, and Owen Osby, resulting in Trial Judge Chief Justice ordering their release. The Crown also conceded on several other counts on the indictment, saying it had insufficient evidence or no evidence in respect of those charges, which had been slapped on several of the other accused. Attorney Anna K. Kelly, one of the 2 counsels representing Green during a no-case submission, argued that he should have also been allowed to walk as well, charging for the prosecution at the close of its case failed to abuse sufficient evidence showing that he was a member of a criminal organization. Neither counts 2, 4, nor 12 have been established by the prosecution, Kelly said, adding that no evidence has been brought to show that Green had knowingly shared in the proceeds of any unlawful activities of the gang. She further contended that the absent from the Crown's case, which relied heavily on the testimonies of 2 former gang members turned state witnesses, was reference to any activities that accused would have carried out. According to Kelly, the prosecution's case taken at its highest while it has some evidence of some tenuous nature, pointing out that witness number 1, by his own admission, said he had never seen Green going on any operations with the gang or taking or issuing orders, but had stated that Bryan made a distinct effort to keep his brother from getting too involved. Kelly insisted that the Crown had not adduced sufficient evidence of any relationship between Andre Bryan and the accused outside of the bond of brotherhood in a familiar sense. Also, of significant note is the fact that nowhere in any of the many statements given by witness number 1 does he mention Kevon Green or any participation on his part with respect to the gang. No independent evidence has been led to show that the crime charge might have been committed by the accused. While the court can convict without this, it would be unsafe to do so, she said further. In November last year, witness number 1 in his testimony said Bryan had restrained his brother from being part of killings done by the gang but had allowed him to collect guns. Blackman don't want him to do any killing, he always keep him back most of the times, the witness said then, in response to a question from the Chief Justice. According to the witness, Green was very much of a top tier. As nights went, we were breaching, stayed up until odd hours, he is also there. I remember when they banned AK-47, he was there also. He was one of the ones who tested it to see if it was firing good, the witness declared. Asked by the Chief Justice, so Mr. Bryan would keep him back from some things, the witness responded, yes, Your Honor. Thursday, Kelly said given all the issues raised as it relates to the evidence or the lack thereof, it is submitted that the evidentiary burden of the charges on the indictment have not been discharged by the prosecution. Neither of the 2 main witnesses were able to provide sufficient evidence that has been taken at its highest a jury could properly convict on. At best, the prosecution's evidence is tenuous in nature because of its inherent weaknesses and inability to substantiate the elements of the offense against the accused. Consequently, it is submitted that it would be manifestly unsafe of the jury to convict the accused upon such evidence, the attorney declared. Meanwhile, Kimani Bryson, attorney of Tom Taylor, Daniel Mackenzie, and Owen Osby, One of the men, freed on Thursday, said that all three of his clients should have been sprung. According to the attorney, while the prosecution in opening its case on September 20 last year had said Tommy Taylor ensured that murders ordered by Andre Blackman were carried out with perfect execution, the claim had not been borne out in the evidence brought. He further argued that the 25-count indictment brought by the Crown had only made mention of one incident in which the Crown through its witness alleged that Taylor was party to an execution. That incident, however, fell under Count 6, which is one of the several counts of the Crown on Thursday, conceded that it had insufficient evidence to ground Taylor on. According to the lawyer, there has been no further evidence explicitly found on any witnesses of the prosecution that Mr. Taylor was party to a criminal enterprise. There was no evidence elicited from any of the witnesses that Taylor received or carried out or saw it to that in an act with a criminal element was executed. He also pointed out that his client's contact number was not stored in any of the telephone devices of the witnesses, 3 of which have been entered into evidence during the trial. He further stated that he maintained that the testimonies of the witnesses were contradictory in respect to the aliases they referred to Taylor by, and claims that gangsters were severally punished for refusing to take orders from Bryan, referencing an incident in which Taylor refused to participate in, to hit, but was not punished. Both attorneys were among 10 attorneys who made no case submissions on Thursday. The remaining members of the defense team are expected to continue making their pitches to the bench when the matter resumes on Monday at 10 a.m. in the Home Circuit Division of the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.